So Ashley Christ made a video about bumps on a log on Twitch, like me. Of course, I'm pretty much a bump on a log on YouTube at this point as well, because as I have fished, as I've done a little bit of sad fishing, which I normally don't like doing, but it has its uses once in a blue moon. As I've done some sad fishing over on YouTube with whoever still watches my videos, I've just uncovered more and more evidence of just how bad my YouTube situation really is. People talk about YouTube like it's this wonderful, this wonderland of discoverability. That's not the case. So there's an ongoing problem with, I'm at this point, I'm starting to view what they did. I'm starting to view the whole tech video problem as an invading army, so to speak, more so than a fan base. Because definitely not a fan base. I'll tell you right now, the tech video people that sit there like petulant children, not watching anything that I upload unless it's the same old stuff over and over and over again, aka the stuff that'll kill a channel because, oh, I've seen it before, boring. And by the way, was already killing the channel as even the tech videos have declined over the years. The people that sit there like petulant children are absolutely not a fan base. Not a fan of what I do. My YouTube channel was founded on multimedia, not computer stuff. Computers are part of multimedia, but there is a group of people that will gladly just hijack the channel. And I keep using the term petulant because if you've ever dealt with bratty little kids, you know what I'm talking about. You have a kid that won't behave, they're really mad at you, they don't like what you say, and instead of throwing a temper tantrum, they do the exact opposite. They pout, they just stand there, and they fold their arms, they pout, and they ignore you, and give you the silent treatment. Oh, you didn't buy the toy I wanted when we were at Walmart? Ad nauseum. No, seriously, that's the way I view these people who refuse to have anything to do with anything I upload if it's not tech videos. Because what are these people asking me for? What these people want is for my channel to die. It's that, but your channel's dying anyways. You only get 5 views, 10 views, 20 views a video. When you used to get hundreds, you said so yourself. They want to make sure that it never has a future. Because they're YouTubers, and this is part of the reason why tonight's discussion has been changed to, you're a content creator, period. There are YouTubers out there who are in the same position as the Twitch streamers who don't want to acknowledge that any other form of online media exists and they should do something with it. It's nuts. Look, this whole Twitch thing, experimenting with Twitch, gaming, just chatting, and now talk shows and podcasts, because that's what I run this whole radio style show like, a podcast. Look, this whole Twitch experiment was me being curious about another platform that is doing relatively well versus YouTube for some reason, and is attracting talent away from YouTube, so I wanted to see what the hubbub was. There are frustrated YouTubers that are now Twitch streamers. As much as there are Twitch streamers telling people to go to YouTube, I know about the YouTubers who have abandoned YouTube and are doing nothing but IRL streaming with the stuff they used to make videos about on Twitch. And largely, what drives that is that they are full-time content creators, so they need to pay their bills, and the declining ad revenue on YouTube, plus the ad blockers, plus the thing I sound off about, the evidence in the analytics and the numbers that ad blockers are something the creator gets punished for, as I've seen in my own numbers. The more videos get ad blocked, the less the algorithms pass them around. That's the fundamental problem here. YouTube has a bad reputation for taking problems they should be addressing as a platform and dumping them on the creators. The COPPA enforcement was one huge example of this. They could have made, they should have made some more systemic changes to comply with the legislation about protecting children's privacy online, but instead what we get is this giant laundry list of you need to worry about this, you need to worry about that, and it's just dumped on the creators. And you know what? The ad blocker thing is exactly that. Okay? There's going to be people out there using ad blockers. They don't like watching ads. Don't punish the creators because people are ad blocking their videos. So, I will believe that this problem is solved when my tech videos stop getting held back with their ad blocker ratios versus videos about appliances, videos about other stuff, videos about stuff that attracts a more mainstream, less tech-savvy audience that doesn't run ad blockers. I'll believe that things have changed when that happens. In the meantime, we've got a problem on our hands. We got a big problem on our hands with these people that just want to sit there, like I said, petulant children. Like a little kid that doesn't want to behave. It just wants to ignore you. And you'll see, when you see kids doing this, when they're misbehaving in like retail stores and stuff, you'll know them when you see them, because that's the kid that just stops there, stands still, folds their arms. Maybe they don't even walk, and mom and dad has to actually either pick them up or drag them around to move them from place to place because they will not cooperate. That's what I view these tech video people on YouTube as, the petulant children of my audience. And they make me wonder how on earth they even live with themselves with some of the stuff that they do. Look at this. Here's the latest comment. I responded to it. I was a real jackass in the comments, but that was because, when you out yourself as somebody who has zero interest in what I'm doing, and all you want to do is just see the same old stuff over and over again, aka kill my channel, then I really don't care whether you're there or not. See here. The entire reason I got into your channel years ago was because of your computer videos. In the past, when you only made that odd cartoon series that was Plotagon, fooling around with the program, form of multimedia, by the way, and radio-style episodes, sounding like I'm on the radio, form of multimedia, I stopped watching, and only somewhat recently came back to watching you because I was bored and noticed you were doing things with computers again. If you want to grow, you need to stick with doing certain things and keep doing those. Otherwise, when you switch to another form of content, you'll make part of a community that used to watch you possibly not watch your videos ever again. Look! If people are that jumpy and that snotty that a human being has another interest besides the one they found out about first, those aren't people that shouldn't be in your audience. Those aren't the people. It's a demographics thing once again. Those aren't the people that should be watching anything you do. They shouldn't be watching your videos. They shouldn't be watching your live streams. They shouldn't be reading your tweets. Nothing. You want nothing to do with those people because they don't care. They're not an actual fan of what it is you're doing. They're just along for the ride. And that's exactly what I see from these computer video people. They'll come to a channel called MultimediaJay, and they'll expect nothing but computer tinkering. Delosaurus ad nauseum. This got ridiculous a long time ago. There are channels out there like Paul's Hardware that are named after computer tinkery type stuff. Or, what is it, Crazy Will, Timmy Joe Tech Show, Timmy Joe PC Tech, blah, blah, blah. They're a computer. Hey, let's test the noise filter. Hillbilly's home with his motorcycle. Is any of this making it out to the air? Come on, OBS. Let's see what you're made of. So, here's the thing with this, though. These people that only are interested in one thing, they're not going to be interested in anything else you do. And quite frankly, they are going to look like petulant children, especially when they start phantom disliking your videos and everything else. They start disliking stuff that you upload. And you didn't used to get dislikes before. Now suddenly like 3 people are disliking everything you upload. I've caught that before. But there's just all kinds of garbage going on that says people, why aren't you doing what I want over and over and over again? And it's this entitled attitude. This absolutely entitled attitude that didn't used to be a thing. YouTube used to be a special thing. It used to be a thing where we knew about this online video site, and there were people making videos. They were crappy, low quality, mostly webcam videos, but people developed fan bases and followings because it was real, unlike the nonsense going on TV at the time. We're talking reality TV being sent all over the place. Now this guy's messing with me. We're talking reality TV so overblown and so in everybody's faces that it's actually getting parodied on comedy channels. Those of you, if you've ever watched, not TBN, what did TBN become? Spike TV. You ever watched Spike TV back in the day? It was a show called The Joe Schmo Show. The tagline was, it's a reality show that isn't real. It was making fun of all the reality shows that were on TV at the time. It was a very, very satirical pastiche of the reality show genre. So it is in this kind of climate that YouTube comes into existence, and instead of fake reality shows, you have real reality via people making videos with their digital cameras. Terrible, low-quality videos, but people are more interested in that than they are in the sparkly, glitzy garbage that you see on TV. So people were more genuine in that era. People were more interested in the human side of what was going on, so you were more likely to develop a fan base than an audience. But as YouTube got more corporate, the corporation found its useful idiots, namely all those people who don't realize that they're caught up in the corporate crap because they demand and will not support YouTubers unless they kill their channels making the same stuff over and over again. Let me tell you something. The angry video game nerd has been through this before. In 2000, and we're going way back, 2007, I did a vlog called Angry Video Game Burnout, where I thought the AVGN was starting to get old and stale, and I wasn't the only one. There are people that were sick and tired of the AVGN, even though he'd built a successful show series, and it still gets a lot of views to this day because he still has a fan base, not an audience, fan base, people that like the nerd, watch because it's the nerd, or watch because it's James. It could be either one of those two, because James did the smart thing, even though people were angry at him at the time. He broadened his content out. He started doing James and Mike Mondays, Board James, all this other stuff that you'll see on the Cinemassacre channel these days, which is no longer named after James the Nintendo nerd, although I think the old link still works. But I remember, seeing James just come out and say, look, the nerd was only supposed to be a project I did that would just come and go. I didn't expect it to be what it is today. And that's when it clicked with me that maybe James felt like he wasn't appreciated enough as much as his character, the AVGN. And I was like, yeah, I get where this guy's coming from. I've watched his Board James videos, and I've watched his James and Mike Mondays from time to time. I'm busy with my own content a lot these days, but I can tell you right now that AVGN's not the only thing that James makes that James made that I would watch. I even parodied his vlog video about turning 30 at one point. The Dragon in My Dreams, not a parody, but it was inspired by, I took a trip up to Massachusetts to a place where I was a little kid and stuff like that. Seeing what happened after decades in Connecticut and growing up in Connecticut. But it was inspired by James's Dragon in My Dreams video, which was a radical departure from the Angry Video Game Nerd when it first posted. So it's the human side of these platforms that needs to come back. And part of the reason why Twitch is doing as well as it does is because it does cater to this human side with things like custom emotes, Twitch memes, the culture on Twitch. It's one of the reasons why, Twitch technologically is very inferior to YouTube. No, seriously. Live streaming as Twitch's bread and butter, flakiness in the database system so that people receive disciplinary action and they lose a ton of VODs, like what I saw with Alinity, and I believe Devin Nash had something get wiped out once, even though it wasn't disciplinary action. Just as a platform for hosting video, the technology is not as polished. As a platform for hosting video, as algorithms for introducing people to content creators without the content creators needing to spam every Discord on the planet with when they're going live on Twitch. Twitch is in many ways, shapes, and forms an inferior site versus YouTube, but it's as popular as it is because what they do right is they cater to the human side of things a lot better than YouTube does. And get this, some Twitch streamers don't appreciate this. When they accuse Twitch of nepotism and favoritism with the disciplinary systems and things along those lines, they come out and they're like, oh, Twitch, oh, they're so unprofessional. But that's part of what having a human face might kind of wander into, as opposed to YouTube and their over-mechanization. Way too many algorithms making way too many important decisions about whether or not your content gets any views or not. Is that what you want? Because that's the other side of the pond on this one. But no. I'm telling you right now, and tonight's discussion is called You're a Content Creator, period, because I think the era of calling yourself a YouTuber or calling yourself a Twitch streamer is coming to a close. If you call yourself one of those two, you're limiting yourself. If you became a Twitch streamer during quarantine because you had nothing better to do and you're like, well, Shroud does this and Ninja does this, then I could do this. And you don't actually know that Shroud and Ninja have not done what you think they did, you're limiting yourself. And there are two situations in particular that have led to me deciding to can my entire tour day Twitch feedback loop, along with a health scare actually last night. I almost passed out. Couldn't even sit up. I think the blood pressure stuff I'm on might be overcompensating a bit because I'm more active now than I was 6 months ago. Might have to talk to the doc about adjusting the medication. And that's why I've got something caffeinated as my cold ones today, although this soda might warm up a bit if I don't start drinking it soon because it's not insulated. But that's why we're here tonight. We're here tonight to talk about you're a content creator, period, because the sooner you step away from I'm a YouTuber, I'm a Twitch streamer, and you start viewing yourself as just a content creator that should vary things up, even if it means some angry people in your audience mass abandon you, if you think of that, excuse me, once you actually start thinking of yourself as that, then that's the only way your channel moves forward. To finish up this discussion about this whole thing with the tech video people, after I very nastily responded, looks like you're part of the problem then, bye, and I expected them to get mad at me and unsubscribed, they actually came back with a rather not delusional, but a rather oblivious response to the fact that, look, you've just demonstrated exactly what's wrong with my YouTube channel. So I've actually watched the video and you're getting rid of your computers because of power consumption? No. I want to get rid of my computers because I really don't think I should be barking up that tree anymore. The tech videos have been the worst thing that has ever happened in my YouTube channel. We're talking the difference between 100 views and 10 views, depending on whether or not I'm catering to a very specific demographic that wants me to run my channel into the ground. And you know what? That's the rut that I see on both YouTube and Twitch, that where creators run themselves into the ground and you hear these stories of streamer burnout. I gotta take a week off, I gotta take a month off, but I don't think they're addressing the real problem here. I don't think they are. Let's crack this thing open. I don't think they're addressing the real problem here, and that is that they're doing the same stuff over and over again, and we're human beings. Variety is the spice of life. We're human beings, ladies and gentlemen. Variety is the spice of life. So we can only do the same old stuff over and over again for so long before we start getting bored with it. And likewise, an audience can only see the same old stuff from you over and over again before they start getting bored with it. That's exactly what happened with my tech videos. Computer tinkering all the time, ongoing story of Monolith, Tuxedo, the Delosaurus, blah, 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 blah. And they sunk 300-something views to 200-something views to 100-something views to maybe 100 views. And it will keep on going. Why? People move on from things. So these people that want me to do, these people that are trying to hold my YouTube channel hostage are just going to become, it's like a cat backed up against the wall. You know, it just gets worse and worse and worse because they get more and more tenacious. It's just going to be more and more angry and screechy and petulant, like I mentioned with that thing with the kids earlier. It's just going to get worse and worse until, if I don't walk away from this now, it's not going to get any better. And that's why when you see these super low views on most of what I upload these days, it's because I'm pretty much starting over at this point. I have a bad group of people that want me to kill my channel, essentially. They may not know it. That are caught up in the YouTube corporate crap, and they may not know it. That refuse to listen to reason. And refuse to acknowledge that a guy starting a channel off of multimedia is going to cover a broad range of topics. Computers, video games, even this stuff. Talking about online media and stuff like that. The meta of YouTube, Twitch, and what else. That's going to be a thing. That's absolutely going to be a thing. And I responded, I said completely false, and more evidence / exhibition of the problem with tech videos. Because this kind of response, ignoring the interpersonal elements that I'm talking about, even when you just mentioned that with make the same content over and over again to not drive away your audience, except it will drive away your audience. They'll get bored and move on, then nobody will watch that stuff. So this whole thing, maybe I shouldn't have gone with something carbonated. This whole thing with these people that are doing this, it's just... they don't realize it. Look, when YouTube first started, the personality was what drove the channel. The Renettos, the Greg Solomons, the Digital Souls, Alfred from Alfred TV, Venetian Princess. You liked these people because of who they were, not what they were doing. But then, the YouTube ecosystem, people that use YouTube and whatnot, started wrinkling their nose when CBS made a channel. Like, what the heck is CBS doing here? Why is there a television network with a YouTube channel? YouTube is about you, individuals. And so many people on YouTube at the time were individuals making videos about whatever was going on in their life. But little did we realize, YouTube would start to shift the focus away from the interpersonal stuff towards more corporate crap, towards brand channels, where myself adopting an online persona, so to speak, based on an old screen name in AOL Instant Messenger from back when I graduated college, that sort of thing would now be considered a brand channel. And it now suddenly became officially recommended by YouTube and passed around in the general population of YouTube watching videos. You should do the same stuff over and over again. If you want to do anything else, start another channel. iJustine was probably the worst at this, even though she is herself a persona. But she had, what, iJustine Gaming, iJustine Cooking, iJustine this, that. I forgot what all her channels used to be called. She used to have a lot of them. She got made fun of for it. Literally every time she came up with a new interest, she started another iJustine YouTube channel for it. She's pared that down since then. But it was a foreshadowing of things to come here. And people don't realize just how they're corporate useful idiots. AstroTurf, as it were. If you know what an AstroTurf campaign is. When companies will get individuals to shill for their products, but look like they themselves like the products instead of the company being involved. Fake grassroots, basically. That's what's going on with these tech video people. They don't realize how sucked into this nonsense they really are. And they don't even care about me. They don't care about any YouTuber they watch, most likely. All they want is the same old videos over and over again. And you know what? Doing the same stuff over and over again is a great way to kill your channel. Kill everything you do. You can see some of these tech video people kind of running themselves into the ground, wondering why their views are sinking. Some of it is YouTube stuff. Some of it is just, you know, the umpteenth video of some computer nerd reviewing a processor. It just gets old after a while. And if it gets old on the creator side first, they lose their passion for what they're doing, which the audience picks up on. So it becomes this feedback loop that sinks the channel. And when I mentioned way back at the beginning of this monologue, this fishbowl effect, people that are spending too much time on YouTube and too much time on Twitch, having the exact same problem, not understanding the issues with the other platform, or being fishbowled by being too involved, either in Twitch or in YouTube. When you start noticing these kinds of things, that's when you realize it's time to move on with things. And that's why I'm here today to talk about, you're a content creator, period. Because that's all you should consider yourself. Don't lock yourself into a platform. Don't lock yourself into an ecosystem. There are two specific situations, and we may have to do debate format for one of them. There are two specific situations that inspired me to have this discussion. The situation with Tyongi, the Korean IRL streamer who's been frustrated about Twitch lately because all her friends are partnered except for her, but I think that she should go in the direction of being a more multi-platform content creator, more so than her friends. So the auntie stream can turn into YouTube videos, and she's in the best position to have both regular YouTube videos and streaming going at the same time and just cycle between the two. She doesn't stream as much as her friends. That frees up time if she wants to be a full-time content creator to work on some evergreen stuff for the feedback loop. So, but then there's the situation with Ashney Christ, who posted a video directed at bumps on a log on Twitch like me. And I want to put that in debate format. I haven't even seen it yet. I want to go over her points and also go over the hard numbers with her, quite frankly. That she I think her entire business model is at risk if she doesn't start putting some meat behind the stuff that she's getting on her soapbox about in her YouTube videos. So all of this, however, is going to tie into the simple need to consider yourself a content creator. That's it. Don't consider yourself anything else, because you're limiting yourself if you do. And same thing with the tech video people on YouTube. If you don't give content creators a chance, you are doomed to watch every creator that you allegedly like get stale and their channels slowly die. Because human beings get bored with stuff eventually and want to move on. The question is, who gets bored first? Do you get bored, or do the people get bored and you start seeing their numbers drop, which puts the creator in a bad mood? Or does the creator get bored and suddenly they either say they're taking a break, or, like some creators I've seen on YouTube do, who know that telling your audience you're leaving is never good for your channel, you're better off just to disappear and leave people wondering where you went, they just vanish. And you don't have anything to watch for weeks or months from them. Even stuff you used to like. You may even whine in the chat, in the comments, or in their community post section. Where you been, man? We want to see some more videos. But little do you realize, those of you that are caught up in this crap, how you yourself drove this. Because we're all interconnected here. It's all an ecosystem. It's not people on the stage in the audience like it is in the theater, although there is an element there that's a totally different discussion. We're all interconnected in all of this. This is what YouTube got right. And this is what other platforms are getting right now, even when YouTube isn't. And they're basically piggybacking off of YouTube's prior success, doing the exact same thing, while YouTube spins their tires. Too much corporate influence and not enough emphasis on what made them great in the first place. So, this human side of content creation matters. Period. This is MultimediaJay radio style. Don't touch that dial.
257. MultimediaJay radio style.